Okay, I am live. Okay, looks like I am live. Hi, dear friends and dear community. This is Katerina Satori. I wanted to host this brief live stream to bring some inspiration and to connect with you on the topic, one of my favorite topics. How do we shape our reality? How do we remember that we have that power to reimagine who we are, to reimagine the world that we choose to experience? And I actually took a few minutes to tune in. There were so many different topics that wanted to come through. Do I speak about some daily practices? Do I speak about the power of the mind? What do I speak about? That was my question before I hit live. And I decided to name this one big idea, and it's all about the parallel versions of reality that we can experience and how to work with fourth dimension. I don't think we speak a lot about the fourth dimension. We give a voice to the fifth dimension a lot, right? Which is this beautiful space of oneness and transcendence and unity of all that exists. And that fifth dimension is being accessed through the heart. So when we go through the heart awakening, we begin to tap into the fifth dimensional energies. But there is another space that we are all affected by, that we're all connected to, and it's a fourth dimensional space. And it's actually the four dimensional space is very, very powerful level of reality that you can learn to work with to shape what you see in your world. And before I continue, because I'm going to post this video in my YouTube and in my Instagram, my name is Katerina Satori. I share ancient wisdom and modern discoveries of the research of the mind and of the energy work. And I give people tools and processes of how to truly create these sovereign lives. And sovereignty, the way that I describe it, that feels really authentic, is this sense of inner freedom, that you know that you have the resources within to create a version of the life that feels meaningful and fulfilling to you. To me, sovereignty also means a sense of inner power, a true empowerment. So it's when you feel free to create, free to tap into these inner resources. And also you feel empowered to create a life that's inspiring to you. And you also feel joy and inspiration on a daily basis, right? So it's our birthright. I deeply believe it's our birthright to live truly sovereign lives. And for that, we get to learn a way to work with our reality, with our personal reality, and with the bigger collective reality. So, when I was diving into reality shaping principles, specifically the fourth dimension is, the way that I like to describe it. It's a sort of like a giant projector, right? I have a projector right behind me that I enjoy watching movies on. So there's a giant projector, and the fourth dimension is a mirror. Whatever you direct onto that dimension, you will begin to experience in your life. So we have been witnessing since year 2020 there's many different realities that are happening on the planet right now, right? And the many versions of reality are based on what each person decide is happening in the world right now. There's people right now on the planet who are receiving the most brilliant ideas from the quantum field. and they're acting on their ideas, and they're having the most incredible success and achievements, and breakthroughs in science, or breakthroughs in social movements, right? So there is a versions of reality. There are so many people who are thriving in the most powerful way right now, and making a difference, and creating beauty, and receiving ideas for sustainable change. There is a versions of reality for people who are feeling completely lost, completely disheartened, completely divided from within, right? And being disoriented by what's happening on the planet, and seem to be not being able to find the inspiration to find their way. That's the version of reality as well. I remember year 2020 came, and in my daily practices and my daily meditation, what I have been receiving, when so many people panic and get lost in the messages of fear, there is actually a lot of opportunity. Every crisis, every uncertainty gives us an opportunity. An opportunity lays in becoming really still and learning to listen to the quantum field, and learning to receive the information from the quantum field, also known as Akashic Records. Who is here with me? I don't know. Whoever is here with me, hi. So when we are talking about how do we shape our reality, and how do we listen, how do we listen to the quantum field, right? Hi, dear. Hi, Crystal. What's most important to remember, because everything I name here is going to be an invitation to remember that deep in your soul, you know this. I'm just one of the messengers who invites you to remember this even deeper. So in order to work with fourth dimension, you're working with time, you're working with archetypal realm, you're working with the plane of ideas. Think about fourth dimension as a projector screen. And the fourth dimension is most receptive to one power that you have as a sovereign soul, and it's the power of directing your mind. So your mind is the projector, and the fourth dimension is the screen. So whatever your mind projects on the screen will mirror back to you. Another version of reality, if the reality is a mirror, whatever your facial expression has, the mirror will reflect to it. So working with fourth dimension is remembering that your mind and your inner state projects your reality. This is very powerful realization. When we all begin to live like that, then you are never stuck. Your circumstances are temporary. But when the more you take control of your thought, of your intentions, of your focus, of your ability to direct your mind to a sense of possibilities. So there's going to be many, many, many versions of the earth, many versions of reality. Each person is becoming quickly more aware that they are truly vibrational architects of their life. Less and less there will going to be, logical reason to only say, it's my genetics, or it's my age, or I am feeling under-resourced, or the government, or the economy. More and more people will realize, what, this is disempowering. This is not moving me forward. I'm tired of that story. What would life look like if I truly step into a sovereign identity where I say, I project my reality. I project my reality. So if that is true, if my mind is a projector and the reality is a screen, I am going to project possibility. I am going to project enthusiasm. I am going to find inspiration. I'm going to remember my gifts. I'm going to remember my power. So every single day, you choose to attune your mind to this new reality that you're choosing to create. It reminds me, there were a time where my biggest dream, just my biggest dream, was to come to US. And I thought, if I create this, how do you calm the turbulence within? I'm going to answer that, Crystal. Thank you. Thank you for that question. But I remember this was a dream, right? Everything that is created is always created twice. This is reality shaping principle. There is always two parts in any manifestation. First, it's created in your mind. In order to create a new life, you get to create it first in your mind. You get to see it. You get to be excited by it. You get to dare to imagine a new version of yourself, your body, your leadership, your experience, right? Everything is created twice. First in the mind, then in the reality. So if you look back into your journey, everything that you're enjoying right now used to be just a dream, just a wish, just a desire, just an idea. And something in you inspired you to continue to re-energize that idea, that thought, that inspiration, until you turn that idea into a reality, into a dream, into an experience, right? Everything is created twice. Everything is created twice. So working with parallel dimensions is taking responsibility for your job as a creator of your personal reality. We all have a collective dream that we are dreaming, but every single one of us has the keys to our own personal reality. Now, I'm going to offer you 3 simple practices. Crystal has asked, how do you calm the turbulence within? I have a solution for that, my dear. The turbulence is a part of human experience. The turbulence means maybe you're feeling under-resourced, stretched to the thin, right? And just overwhelmed by a lot of things coming to you at once. That's where we feel unsettled and turbulent. The very first thing is to remember you need something that can rule the mind. And you know, the number one thing that rules the mind is breath. I like to offer this phrase to everybody who will listen. And it goes like this: breath is the ruler of the mind. Breath is the ruler of the mind. The only thing that can still the mind, and when you feel turbulent within, it means that your mind lost the seat of its sovereign power, and the mind is either in the past or in the future, right? Breath is the ruler of the mind. One of my favorite practices that truly brought a huge transformation into my life is a daily breath work. And there are so many great teachers on YouTube that you can look up and just try different styles of breath work and see which one will resonate with you. But it's very important to build a habit. So in a couple of days, I will announce a live stream or maybe a webinar. I haven't decided yet. But I wanted to give a voice to the anatomy of the mind, because we have a conscious mind, which is your thinking mind that is able to come up with ideas, with inspiration, that is able to plan and organize and learn. But we also have a subconscious mind, which is 1,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind. Maybe you've heard this before. But what a lot of people don't know is how do you actually affect your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind responds to 2 things, only 2 things, 2 major things. Number 1, hypnosis. You got to change your brain waves to access your subconscious mind. Number 2, habit and repetition. Right? So when you are working towards how do I calm the inner turbulence, my answer to you always is new routine and a new practice. I offer people breath work as a daily practice. I feel if you are alive on the planet right now, you need to find a way to learn to breathe correctly. This is not an option anymore. If you don't want to live in a stressed, an anxiety state, which is really easy to get there, you get to learn to breathe correctly. When you learn to breathe, you begin to tap into this deep inner power that's called your ability to direct your mind. When you're able to direct your mind, you're able to begin to sculpt your reality, right? So, breath, Crystal is asking me how to calm the turbulence. Embrace the breath practice. Second tool for calm and luminous mind, you want to find a way to process obsessive thoughts, right? So if you are in the way of, if you're struggling to find clarity, if your mind is overwhelmed with confusion or lack of vision, you get to find a way to create space in your mind, right? And one of the ways that I do it, I use the process of writing and journaling. I actually have so many journals everywhere in my house. I have a digital journal, journal that I use in the morning, journal that I use in the evening. Why do I use the process of journaling? The power of journaling is not just tracking what you've experienced in the day. Journaling is your confidant. It's a space where you take what's in your mind and you put it on paper. And every time you do it, you liberate space in your mind. And every time you liberate space in your mind, now you have space to receive fresh ideas, fresh insights, fresh inspiration. But if your mind is never goes through the process of emptying, it's just too full, it's just spinning, it's just recycling the same old information. So in order for you and for me, for all of us to start working with the fourth dimension, which is dimension of time, dimension of archetypes, dimensions of creative ideas, we got to learn to still the mind and then create space within it for inspiration to come to us. Final practice that I recommend everyone alive on this planet. It's like these are the practices that are becoming non-negotiable. If you want to move forward in what's coming with lucidity, with calmness, with clarity, these practices become like requirements for living, right? Requirements for living. So the next practice I'd like to share with you, my dear ones, is the practice of meditation. I just can't even describe to me how transformative this is for my life. And you can start with 5 minutes, 6 minutes, but you will really start seeing results if you commit to 15 minutes per sitting. Again, there is a gazillion types of meditation available for free. Just find YouTube video. But what meditation does, and I feel like the more I can describe to you the reasons of why meditation is so healing. Meditation helps you exit collective stream of consciousness. For those 15 minutes or 20 minutes, you'll literally unplug from the matrix. And you become a still being. And you're resetting your vibration. You're resetting your mind. You're resetting your vibration. I said that already, right? So, and every time you sit down to meditate, you not only unplug from the collective mind, from the collective matrix, you're resetting your brain from stress and overactive to calm and present. So these three practices, daily breath practice, daily journaling, writing down your thoughts, and daily meditations, I would call them, they are the necessities for the current times. Because the experience of time will continue to feel like it's going faster and faster and faster. The aim for human species is to become the species that shares collective awareness, to become fifth dimensional beings, right? And for that to happen, we get to pass through the fourth dimension, which we are doing right now. And the fourth dimension is coming into a right relationship with time. We have been enslaved by the old idea of time. We have been enslaved by the old ideas of aging, by the scarcity of time, scarcity of resources, right? This is all the programming of the past version of reality. We have an opportunity to reimagine what is possible for us. We have an opportunity to reimagine what is possible for our collective family. And for that, we get to take responsibility for every single thought that is projecting in our reality. We have to take responsibility for our vibration, for our daily practice. You know, the way that I see in my own life is my life is a mirror of my daily practice. It can be as simple as that. And when my practice is strong, my life is strong, right? When my practice is consistent, my rhythm, the way that I move through life is consistent. And a daily practice gives me anchoring, gives me stability, gives me inner calm. And also is really, how do I create ritualistic practice? Do you set an alarm and do it the same time daily? If that helps you, Crystal, yes. I wonder if you saw my PDF, Ignite Your Morning. I actually put together a whole practice of what I do. I do 5 things every morning to live, this harmonious, balanced life. So you set an alarm, you create a habit, right? Your practice is basically a habit building experience, right? And the more meaning you assign, I got you. I'll put a link underneath this video, and I have a whole PDF that outlines my 5 daily practices. And there is an audio and there is a video training of how to turn this practice, into your part of your reality. But I feel like what I'd like to share before I close this live stream is year 2020 gave us a collective shock into what's coming this decade. Collective shock was a necessary wake-up call for all of us, and we have these many versions of reality that is happening at any moment. There is a different kind of earth experience for people who choose the path of the soul, who choose to follow their heart, who choose to practice their beliefs, who choose to find a deeper meaning for their existence, who choose to practice gratitude, and who choose to find a way to laugh even when things are difficult for them. There is a different version of reality of people who choose not to practice, who choose to not to find a way to be grateful, who choose to pretend they don't hear the voice of the soul. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. Sovereignty is a choice making. To live a sovereign life is to know that every breath you have is an opportunity to recreate your reality, that you are never stuck. You can always change your mind. You can always see your circumstances in a different way. You can say, you know what? Life is incredible. Life feels challenging right now. And I still have a choice how to see my challenges. I still have a choice to see that this pressure or this challenge is sculpting me into most resilient version of self. Every single one of us has a choice of how do we see what are we currently facing. We can see it as a curse, or we can see it as a creative opportunity to become brave, to rise in our leadership, to master our mind. Everybody has a choice. What we will see more and more of, my dear ones, is the consequences that are becoming faster and faster. I call them karmic feedback, karmic slaps. Every time we avoid taking responsibility, we make our journey more difficult. Every time we take responsibility for our past actions, past choices, past drifting, we actually embrace our power to recreate ourselves. So, sovereignty is a choice making. Sovereignty is this empowered self talk where you say, I'm going through a challenging chapter and I know it's not going to last forever. I'm going to use this challenge to ignite my creative freedom. I'm going to use this challenge to become my most authentic self. I'm going to use this challenge to rebuild myself anew. Right? It's really, really powerful. And when you're ready to work with fourth dimension, remember, fourth dimension is a screen. Your mind is a projector. So project a life of new possibility. Project a life of, I'm going to go for my true life task. I'm going to go for my deepest dream. I'm going to paint my reality. And your mind is a brush. The world is a canvas. One of my favorite ways to work with this in this way is to remember that this reality has a dream-like nature. Last night I had a very weird dreams. There were so many layers in it. And the dream felt so real. The characters in the dream felt so real. You know, the worries in my dream felt so real. The anxiety in my dream felt so real. And then boom, I woke up in the morning and I had this relief. I said, oh my goodness, it was just a dream. This physical dimension is no different. It's just a dream, a highly sensory dream. That after death, after the portal of death, we will have this, our soul will have this laughter. We'll say, oh my gosh, it was just a dream. So when you have a lucid dream experience where you realize when you're dreaming that it's a dream, you are on the brink, you are on the threshold of discovery of the dream nature of this reality. Why it's so important? Because a true spiritual awakening is awakening that you are dreaming, a very physical dream. And no, it doesn't mean that you are stop participating in the dream. A true awakening is when you realize you are in a dream and you realize to fully, and you decide to fully participate in the dream while remembering that you are dreaming, right? So when you realize this is a dream and part of your spiritual integration, I'm going to fully participate in my role. I'm going to fully participate in my soul assignment. I'm going to play with the cards that life gave me. I'm going to develop my gifts, but I'm going to be more lighthearted than that. Then you become fascinated. Okay, if this is a dream, if this is a movie, let me learn what are the reality agreements. How do I shape it? How do I affect my personal reality? Right? This is where the conversation of the mind comes to place. Your mind is a projector. What are you projecting? And the mind has levels. There is a conscious mind, which is your thinking, creative, day-to-day task manager. There is a subconscious mind, your giant, huge subconscious power, but that needs to be directed, right? And there is unconscious mind, which is a collective unconscious. But I will speak about this on a whole other live stream or webinar. I'll decide which one I want to bring. Lightheartedness does help. So to be steady in your reality shaping process, I would encourage you to cultivate your practices, your daily practices. Lean into the resources that I offer for free and see it as an exciting adventure to develop your ability to affect matter with your mind. You know that famous expression, mind over matter? Well, that's what ancient alchemists knew how to do. They knew how to shape matter, physical world, by consciousness alone. And we are rapidly accelerating our ability to do that as collective. The more and more people in the world realize that power, the more and more people realize that they can live awakened, sovereign, fulfilling lives. So we are in exciting times. We're in the thrilling times. And the more of us focus our mind on the possibility of the time that we're on exciting progress that we are going through, on our direct impact of our consciousness, the more we can co-create together the new world, our reimagined world that we can all share together as a collective experience. So that's what I wanted to share with you, how to work with fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is a mirror that will reflect to you whatever you project onto it, right? And this is how we, if you choose to create from the fifth dimensional state of consciousness, that's what you're going to project on the mirror of fourth dimension. Or some people will never choose that, and they will simply stay in three-dimensional existence, meaning without spiritual dimension, without magic, without transforming their reality, and that's what they choose. Planet Earth is the planet of free will universe. And this is why every single person on our planet will experience reality in preference of what they choose. I'm here to invite more people to choose to create the reality that is a reflection of their soul potential, of their divine potential. And to do that, we first get to ground in our body, take control of our mind by mastering breath, and begin to see ourselves as vibrational creators, vibrational artists of our reality, not just people at the mercy of our circumstances, mercy of our economy, mercy of our own limiting thoughts, but truly to take charge and say, I'm a sovereign architect. What would that look like? What do I get to remember? What do I get to practice? What do I get to embody? What do I get to anchor myself in? Our reality is a reflection of our mind. And you can change your mind at any point. You are never stuck. I'm looking forward to the sovereign mind, Bruno, with you. Me too. So, divine souls, we all need, I'm going to use the word need. We all need higher meaning for our lives. We all need to know that our lives matter and that we can dream a much bigger dream. We can sculpt our reality with intention, with universal laws, with vibration. And I know for some people it feels like a lot of responsibility and they don't want anything to do with it. They would rather stay asleep. But for those of us for whom sleep and ignorance is not an option, for us it's all about mastery. It's all about let me bring all my devotion. Let me create my life as a true art. Let me explore the potential within me that has been laying dormant. Let me see what I can create. Let me remember that every thought matters. Every choice matters. And let me remember this is all a dream. And it's going to be a very fast ending dream. But while I'm here, let me participate in the dream. Let me play my role. Let me play it well, with joy, with happiness, with aliveness. On this note, I will be with you soon. I will bring another deep dive live stream with a whole whiteboard, because there's this new distinctions that I see of how to train our subconscious mind that responds to only two things. And when you know how to train your subconscious mind with those two things, you have immense creative power under your command that you can direct, right, while you sleep. On this note, have a beautiful, beautiful day, beautiful evening, And for those of you who have fascination with this topic of reality shaping in a very practical way, I invite you to check out my upcoming live training. It's a teacher's training called The Sovereign Mind. And I am so excited to begin welcoming new students, first students for this teacher's training, where I will bring absolutely everything that is needed for this process, from the art of visioning to working with the law of vibration, to the conscious language, how to encode your reality, how to use your words to create, to how to navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life, and using the law of rhythm to activate equanimity and neutrality, which is the pinnacle of self-mastery. You know, why calm people are so magnetic. Equanimity is really magnetic, is really, really powerful quality to have that witness consciousness, inner calm. Because calm mind doesn't make mistakes. So learning to work with the universe, learning to co-create with the universe. There has never been a more powerful time to learn how to do that, because then you transcend the 3D craziness. You love it, you have compassion for it, but you don't want to be enslaved by it. You can go beyond the physical limited matrix and connect to the real field, the field of intelligence that we call quantum field, the divine matrix. And you begin to work with Akashic Universe. You begin to download any solutions from the field, from the quantum field. You begin to get excited about your reality again. You begin to get more and more brave with your manifestations. You begin to get more and more playful. You remember it's a very beautiful movie, and you are a crucial part in this cosmic movie. You're here for the joy of discovering of yourself as a sovereign creator. And you will never stop creating. You will continue to recreate yourself again and again and again and again. And every day brings you new possibilities, new set of challenges, new sets of support. They always arrive together. If you'd like to be a part of this journey, I invite you to check out my Facebook wall, Instagram account, links in the comments for more information. Until I see you again and connect with you again, remember, you can recreate, reimagine, upgrade your reality with every sovereign choice. And the fourth dimension is here to assist us. Let's learn to work with it intentionally.